What up though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm on the run. Got moves to make out here this early morning. Kicking it with y'all, of course. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for being along for the ride to 5,000. And let's get right into this topic, man, because this is one that I'm pretty eager to discuss. The Duke situation from 2006, it is relevant again, and a bit of a bomb. We end in 2024 with a bang. I don't think nothing more shocking is gonna happen the rest of this year. I mean, I could be wrong. Knock on wood, imaginary wood, metaphorical wood. But this one's a banger to go out. The woman, the accuser, Crystal Mangum, however you want to pronounce it. She was on a podcast recently, and she has outright admitted that the 3 young men who she previously accused of raping her, she lied. She lied. Now, the young men, they were already found to be innocent back then. There was a lack of evidence. It just really couldn't prove that in any way, shape, or form that this happened. In the court of public opinion, those boys were guilty. And we're going to get to why, that's relevant. In the court of public opinion, those boys were guilty. But fortunately, the court of public opinion does not decide people's fate. Other than her saying this happened, they could not prove in any way, shape, or form that this happened. In fact, she had got caught up lying before, and that was the most damaging when it came to letting those young men go. They were in their teen years, late teens. So that was instrumental in them being ultimately let go. You skip forward now. This is the whole thing first happened in 2006. 2007, the boys are free. Skip forward now, 2024. We're talking about 18 years, nearly 2 decades after it originally happened. After the situation originally happened, not the act, the alleged act. But can you imagine living the last 2 decades of your life being constantly side-eyed and, below the belt remarks happening, threats happening to your family, your character being constantly attacked over the last 20 years? Can you imagine that over something you did not do? Man, that's insane. So this is a teachable moment. You guys have heard me say that I don't support Me Too, the believe all women thing. I don't support that because we've just seen too many instances where the woman leaned into that and exploited it, and the man was not guilty. I used a few examples the other day, Johnny Depp being one of them. Like Johnny Depp, here we have a A-list celebrity, a red carpet celebrity, very, very accomplished in his field. And look how hard it was for him to fight back against his wife saying that he did something, his ex-wife saying that he did something. It was insane. So this is a teachable moment. We really have to do better when it comes to when there's new accusations of something. Stop immediately rushing to believe it, because now you can't. You really can't. Before, people were able to get away with this sort of stuff more because DNA evidence isn't what it is today. But even though DNA evidence is the best it's ever been, it still seems like this is happening way more than it should. When you are able to disprove something like this so effectively, I'm really surprised that, actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I think we know why this keeps happening, and it seems like more now than ever. There's no repercussions. Even in this case, there's not going to be repercussions, even though she's outright admitted it. I'm sure she got some sort of legal advice before going on a podcast saying, yeah, I lied. I'm sure she did. There's no way that she just started talking. But in North Carolina, there's a statute of limitations, so she's not going to be held accountable for this in any way. You know, go figure. But those young men, remember, she's not going to face any accountability, but they were punished regardless of the fact that they were innocent the whole time. The coach ended up being fired. He ended up going somewhere else though, and doing the program there, and he had some success with that. But she's gonna turn out. Can't tell what way people trying to go sometimes. But ultimately, you know, like all these people around her like suffered. And then there was dirt on the side of the prosecution. Ultimately, the prosecutor ended up being disbarred. You go ahead and go. He ended up being disbarred because he intentionally lied and suppressed DNA evidence that would have exonerated those young men. So just dirtiness when your record and your career matter more than justice itself, man. That's scary. This isn't the first time we've seen a prosecutor or a DA do something like this. Didn't Kamala do the same thing? Wasn't Kamala put on blast in the 2020 debate? She was put on blast for how she was intentionally suppressing evidence that would have exonerated the people that she was trying to throw away for life, or had thrown away. Not for life, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they were given these hefty sentences over, you know, this and that, marijuana, which is funny because later they ended up talking about, oh, we're gonna make marijuana legal. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Kamala did the same thing. It's very scary when you have some overzealous prosecutor that cares more about just winning and maintaining a record and actual justice, because how do you know you really gonna get a fair trial when you find yourself in a situation like this? Imagine being in court for something you know you didn't do, and people are deciding if they want to lock you away for the next decades of your life. That's gotta be scary. So she was talking about how she wanted, these are things that came out of her mouth, she wanted the approval of people and not God. That's why she lied on them. She testified against them. I don't know what that means, y'all. If y'all know, y'all let me up. I'm being sincere. I don't know what that means. So if y'all can interpret that, y'all go ahead and let me know what the heck that means. She also, you know, she was saying that she wants forgiveness from those three men. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. They may not be in quite a forgiving mood, having to live the last 2 decades damn near under this scrutiny. Because even though, you know, I mean, you know how it is, even though they were found to be innocent, you know, that's not where it ends. Because the news media, is much as they were, you know, riding at the way that they were, and it was racially motivated and all this sort of stuff, they didn't put any effort, especially not compared to how much they did into dragging them. They didn't put any effort, for the most part, into clearing those boys' names. It just was kind of like, oh, they were found innocent. You know, they kind of glossed over the fact that she kind of got caught up lying. I mean, and it just went away. Except for them, it didn't. You know, I'm sure they have served these prison terms even though they were free. If you know what I mean. They still serve these prison terms even though they were free, because they were free technically to be out walking around, but they weren't really free. You got people looking at you funny at the grocery store, at the gas station, you know. That's insane, man. So no. This just hammers home why I am not a fan of Me Too, the whole believe all women. And then, I mean, here go a detail for y'all that I find to be very, very interesting. And that's this woman. She's in her 40s now. She is serving, I don't even know. She's in prison right now, though. I don't know how many years she got, but she's in prison right now for second-degree murder, killing her boyfriend back in 2013. Now, do with that what you will. The woman who made these accusations ended up going to prison for killing her boyfriend. But people still want to pretend like women are sugar and spice and everything nice and not capable of doing ill stuff. Not all women, of course. I'm just saying women on a human level are just as capable as doing ill stuff as men are. Women just aren't as physically strong, but women can do diabolical stuff just like a man can. They just gonna go about it a different way. So this whole thing with looking at women with sugar and spice and everything nice, and women are victims no matter what, believe all women, you know, no woman would lie about these things, you know, it's not true. As you can see, women will lie about this stuff. You shouldn't believe all women. And anyone who does have an opinion of that, would you have that same energy if it was your son on trial for something you know he didn't do? Your dad, your uncle on trial for something you know he didn't do, just because some chick wants to get 15 minutes of fame, you know, just her attention in the you know, media. She just, some people are like that. They thirst for attention. Munchausen syndrome. That's with medical issues though, but I'm not gonna dive into that wormhole there. If you know, you know. Then you got Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is, you know, they thrive on the attention, being the caregiver for someone that's always sick. Yeah, that's a wormhole that I'm a hold out for a video where I can actually talk about specifically that. But you don't know what sort of thing people going on in their head, what they motivated by. It's not always the truth. People are not always a victim. You know, people have weird motivations. You know, I don't know why people do what they do. I have no idea why a woman would lie about something like that with a straight face. I have no idea what would make a woman do that. You know, something that's so serious like that, and you know that they can go away for the rest of their life, and you're going to tell that story on them anyway. I have no idea why a woman would do that, but here we are. They say everything comes to light, right? And she admitted this on her own. I mean, for the most part, people who followed this, they made up their mind about it one way or the other way back. You had people that from the very beginning didn't believe she was being honest. And then you have people who, even after she got caught lying and the boys were found innocent, they still wanted to believe her no matter what. They wanted to believe that the boys did this to her and that they only got off because they were Caucasian males who went to Duke. You know, but now that she herself has said this, what say you now? Man, this is a crazy one, man. And I'm sure more is gonna come from this, because the young men who are no longer young men, they're older men. I mean, they're, you know, firmly in middle age now. None of them have made a statement as of yet, but I'm sure statements are coming. There's no way statements are coming. They're probably gonna say, we said so all along, we told you so back then. And if they want to stand on that soapbox, they deserve to do so, because they never wavered from, we did not do this. And now you skip forward now, they did not do this. It's from her own mouth. They did not do this. She lied. So let me know what you guys think about this, man. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.